Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully, everyone is enjoying or enjoyed their break, depending on when they go back. Again, tonight we are here to talk about the Preseason Invitational, which starts this weekend. We are super excited. Lots of teams have put in their rosters. We're still waiting for a few more. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we also want to talk about the other tournaments coming up. Talking about the Fortnite tournament. We're talking about the Overwatch tournament for the regular season, as well as League of Legends. So with me again today is Chris. Hang on. Terpstra?
Very good. Nice job.
Okay. I had to think about it for a second. From Naperville North. He's the Overwatch coach there, and he'll be running or helping run the Overwatch tournament for the Invitational as well as the regular season. Say hello.
Greetings and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Oh, yeah, definitely. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us on this New Year's evening. I'll be sure to post this up on YouTube, hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow, just to get it up there so everyone can see what happens. So if there's someone who missed the video, they can watch it. Also, I'll be putting all the links that we're putting in here into the new fact channel so you guys can find them for that. But we want to start off with any questions for the Preseason Invitational, and then we'll circle right back around to the regular season and everything else that's going on with that as we get some more people in here. I know some people are still joining in. So for Preseason Invitational, we have League of Legends. Sign-ups already closed. Looking at the rosters right now, we have 22 teams have filled out the rosters so far out of 31. Bracket command is fixed in here. So there's the brackets. And I happen to close them, so I'm opening it back up. We have, and of course they do groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 29 teams signed up currently. I think there's a 30th team. Not sure if they're still in there or not, but like I said, 23 teams have signed up for the League of Legends through the roster submissions. If you're still missing that, please get those in. The links are in the Discord. We want to make sure everyone has the rosters in, hopefully by tomorrow, so we can start posting them so teams can do some scouting for that as well. And then we'll post official groups, I think, after all the rosters are in, because we're going to drop the teams that don't get their rosters in. So make sure, make sure you get them in. As to Overwatch, I'll go ahead and let you talk about that, sir. You're muted.
There we go. Thank you.
I was like, wait a second. I don't hear anything.
That's right. So good. We currently have 24 teams signed up for the Overwatch Invitational. That includes the varsities and the JVs. We did not have enough JVs signed up to have two separate tournaments, but we've been able to rewrite how this tournament is going to be run so everybody gets included. And because it's an invitational, we're not going to be as much of a stickler as we would be in the regular season. So, if a JV team does well enough and moves through to the Sunday games and performs well, that's okay. Coach McGahee has given his thumbs up for that. The one thing we are looking to do, though, is make sure that we get all of our rosters submitted. So I did receive a small list, and I'm going to bring that up right now, of potential let's see. I have to find, there's a message, of those schools that did not send in their rosters yet, and that would include Joliet West, Joliet Central, and Nicholas Senn High School are the three schools that we're still looking to receive rosters from for your teams. Please, please, please send those to Coach McGee. I apologize. Make sure I pronounce that correctly. And he's looking to get those rosters tonight. If you can't get those rosters tonight, please connect with him. You can send him a personal message. And obviously, if there's extenuating circumstances, if we don't hear from you, we're probably going to have to drop you from the tournament. So make sure you reach out to us right away. By tomorrow, we hope to have all that finalized. The groups all set up for the pool play, so we can list out who's playing who and what time slots. But all of that can be found also in our online rules document, to be found in the announcements page and links on the IHSEA Discord.
Yep.
I think that's about it for us.
Yep, I'm posting the rules again in here for those that might want them. The schedule for Saturday, what does it look like, just so people know?
So for Saturday, I believe for Overwatch at least, I'll let you can speak about League of Legends. I know a little bit about that one too, but everyone's looking to start at 10 a.m. For our first round, and then it's for Overwatch. It's going to be a best of three, and you play all the maps, regardless of how that goes, because we need for tie-breaking information and stuff like that in the pool plays. We want to make sure that we get all of that information. So yeah, best of three. You can play all three maps, and during your match, we ask that you please make sure you take a screenshot of the MVP screen that pops up, because that one lists all the player names and has victory or defeat. That's the one we need the screenshot submitted. Again, you can find those details in our rules document. 10 a.m. to start. Then match 2 will take place. I don't have the form in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it's a 1 p.m. We wanted to give a little time for lunch, and then a 3 p.m. for the third pool play game. Every pool has 4 teams, so every team will play each other once, and that makes up the 3 time slots of 10, 1, and 3. I'm receiving a message from Coach McGee. Let's make sure I'm correct on this.
Yep, that's what it says in the rules. I was just pulled up.
Okay. Yep. Just wanted to make sure that was the case. And then that's for Saturday. So League of Legends, I don't know. I'll let you discuss that one. I think it's the same kind of thing. A little bit different on the timings because it's not best of 3 in this case.
Right. Yeah. So for League of Legends, it's going to start at 10 a.m. as well, and then it's going to be 10 a.m., 11:30, and 1 p.m. Just best of ones. So just single round robin play. And then we're hoping that teams will stick around after the games. And then if you want to scrim anyone, you have all afternoon. I know we didn't want to make up a time commitment where you're stuck all day playing both days if you guys make it to the second round. But we wanted to leave time open both Saturday and Sunday for teams if you want to scrim afterwards. I mean, that's what we're kind of promoting. We want teams to get good practice in. So if you want to stay online and practice after your 1 o'clock game, you should be done around 2 o'clock. So if you want to take a break, come back around 3 or 4, 5, whatever, just go ahead and set up any scrims that you guys might want to play after that. Especially for those teams that don't make it all the way to the very end, or even make it to the playoffs, they can at least get some more practice games in afterwards. So it's really important that we get those practice games in before the regular season starts.
That's right. So kind of building on that for both things. So Saturday is going to be our pool play rounds for both League of Legends and Overwatch. When we move into Sunday, into our bracket play, there'll be a specific number of teams that make it. I'll speak first for the Overwatch. So when we get into the Sunday bracket rounds, it should be 2 teams from every pool. And right now we had the 6 pools set up. So again, if everybody submits the rosters on time, when we get those 6 pools in, we're going to pick the top 2 from every pool. And then those 12 teams will move on to Bracket Sunday. We'll have the top 4 seeds, however that ends up turning out with all the stats that we collect. They'll have a bye in that first round, but the remaining 8 will play in the first round at 10 o'clock, followed by the quarterfinals, which there isn't a set time for it. It'll just be whenever the first round of the playoff finishes. So those top 4s will get a bye. They'll play in that second round in the morning. So we figure somewhere between 11 and 12 is when that would start, once we have everybody finished with their first round of the playoffs. After that, so that'll be the quarterfinals. So that second round in the morning, that'll be the quarterfinals. After that, at the conclusion of that one, we're going to put in a 1-hour lunch break, and then we'll kick off right away with the semifinals and the finals following that immediately. And we're looking, if you have them open, Todd, I can't seem to find the Google Doc for whatever reason. The Saturday bracket.
Linked it in the chat.
Is it best of? I want to say it's still 3. I don't think it's 5 in this case.
Pool play day 2. Yeah, I think it's 3. It does not say anything about 5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that. But if you give me, I could probably find it super fast. Start.
The link should be right in the chat.
Yep. There we go. Tournament. Invitational. There we are.
Yeah. I think there's no best of 5 this time.
Yeah. I know we listed out,
yeah.
As far as the other thing too is that for our map pools, yes, it is first to 3. First to 3 wins. So it is considered what's called best of 5. It's the first to 3 wins. That's so for single elimination, So when we get to bracket, we are going to have, it's going to be a best of 5 / what you would call first to 3 wins, following a specific map order. It's the same thing for when we have in our pool play on Saturday. It's a specific map, so we won't have any map choices going down for that. We just wanted to have it preset so there wasn't any less delays getting in between our games, so we just pick the maps ourselves. But so on that single elimination day, so in the bracket stage on Sunday, we will be playing a best of 5 or first to 3 wins situation. Again, those maps are listed out for all of those rounds. So yeah, again, we go first round, second round, lunch break, semifinals, finals, and we'll see how that all works out. We'll make sure that we're posting what team is playing which and at what time, so that everybody is aware of that. There'll be plenty of communication coming from our end, so that there is no confusion as far as who's playing who, what time it is, and the such. So always feel free during the tournament, before the tournament, during the tournament, to reach out to myself or Coach McGee, so we can assist you if there are any questions.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if you talked about it with. I know he's here right now. Capital Esports is the other coach. Mm-hmm. But if you guys want to get on early, maybe 9:00, maybe start a little stream for directions, yep. And then just go dark for a little bit until you guys are ready to stream at 10.
I think we can definitely do something. I'm getting to my school close to 9:00, so I'll get in my lab and get on the streaming PC right away to join Coach McGee. That's fine.
Yeah, I think I'll talk to Kennedy about that too for league, because I know we're gonna have a lot of teams that are checking in and still getting ready and might not be ready by the time they get up, or have questions that because they haven't been here for the podcast that they might want to see. So I think that might be a good idea to do that. And if you wanted to watch any of the Overwatch stuff, it will be hosted on our second channel. So I'm linking it in the chat. It's just IHSEA_2. That is where you will find all of the Overwatch streams for Saturday and Sunday.
Yep. Did you want to talk about Sunday's setup for League as far as what's in the rules?
Yeah, I believe League for Sunday is just single elimination. Single elimination up until semifinals. Then it becomes best of 3. So first round 10 a.m. Next round 11:30, and then semifinals are best of 3 starting at 1:30, and then finals are immediately following the semifinals. So whenever both semifinal matches are done, it could be about 3 or 4 o'clock, depending on how long those best of 3 matches go. Then the finals will start. So Sunday might be a long day if for the championship teams, but they might also not have to start as early, because then probably we'll get a bye. Excuse me, for the first round. So they might not start so early, but then they'll be going into the afternoon / evening, and that will be here on this channel.
Yep. Coach McGee and I are trying to work out exactly our streaming process and schedule. We know for sure we're definitely going to be streaming on Sunday when we get to the bracket stage. It just depends with as many teams and the craziness of what's going on Saturday. If we can get on for at all on Saturday, we will attempt to do so. We're just not sure how. That's all. Trying to figure out the rest of those details, but we will definitely be on Discord if you have any questions, so please feel free to hit us up there. But we may also, if we can, get our stream up and running depending on teams and stuff like that. I think I'll have my JV squad with me at my school, so I don't, we'll see how that all pans out. Was there any questions regarding the Overwatch or League of Legends Invitational?
Not for the Invitational. There was a question about Fortnite in the chat earlier.
Okay.
But I will talk about that momentarily.
Okay. I'm actually going to send you a couple links. There you go. There's some Fortnite links that I was sent, so you can grab those later if you want to. Yeah, whenever you talk about that, that's fine.
Yep. All right, got them copied. First round buys probably will happen because we have a weird number of teams. We'll probably have 12 or 14 teams make the playoff. So more than likely, it'll be some of the winners will be seeded to get a bye the first round. Again, it depends on how many teams sign up, their rosters. Like I said, right now we have 23. So we're already off of a perfect bracket because obviously 16-32. So we'll see how many teams are actually ready to go when we hit game time to figure out how the brackets go. I know League is not seeded yet because we were waiting for everything else because we know how teams say they're going to play and then they don't end up showing up. So I want to make sure that they are. But I think we're finalizing it tomorrow afternoon, I want to say, or Friday at the latest.
I think that's what Coach Kennedy said. Yeah.
Yeah, Kennedy's still on vacation. Vacation, meaning he's not able to do
Not at
as
home.
much work as he wants to.
That's right.
So yeah, so there will be first round buys. I don't know how he's calculating who gets the first round buy. If there's only like 3 or 4 of them and there's 7 groups, who does it? Obviously, it'll be seeded with anyone who goes undefeated. And then I don't know. Do you guys have anything for tiebreakers?
Yeah. So there'll be, within the pool itself, when you play an opponent, whether you win or lose, that's obviously number one. But your maps, and that's why we're making it for when it's because we're playing 3 maps mandatory, regardless of how those turn out. So whether you win all 3, or you win 2 and lose 1, or tie 1 and win 1, or whatever the case, however it all pans out at the end, we're taking all that stats into consideration. And then we also have secondary tiebreakers beyond that. So how did the rest of your pool do, and strength, basically strength of scheduling kind of things. There's a whole list of stats that we've got kind of lined up to help us basically say, okay, here's our top 4 teams that are going to get the buys if we have 12 going to the playoff, depending on our pool sizes again. But yeah, we've got a system set up in place where we should be able to tell everybody at the end of day 1 exactly where they stand, so they don't have to wait until Sunday morning to find out.
Okay, that's good. Just double check and look into the tiebreaker settings that are on the website, because you can actually do that. So if you first it's wins against tied participants and then it's games. So I don't know if that's the way you guys wanted it, or
that's again, it's just that's the idea is that who you play against, wins, losses, and then games wise, as far as like, did you go 3-0, did you go 2-1, how did your 3-game set go? And then if we have other ones that are established, they're just not listed on Jaland right now.
Yeah.
But if we need to go beyond that, and when we will. But I have a feeling with this few teams that usually don't have that kind of issue as far as too many people being tied overall.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be too big of an
see.
issue.
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to Kennedy and find out about what he's doing for league tiebreakers, because we might have a couple of second place tiebreakers. There might have to be a tiebreaker match or 2 for some of them. So I'll have to reach out to him. Just joined. Are there going to be noticeable drastic changes to the Overwatch matches compared to last year? Is there anything different for the Invitational for Overwatch matches in general?
As far as like the in-game portion of it, again, we've already got the maps established, so that's something there. We won't versus the regular season, where I can talk about it a little bit later, but we're not having a map choice per se. We will have. So I'm just trying to see. It doesn't really list it in our match. I just wanted to see. No, as far as offense and defense, so that's one thing we should probably look to adding. My recommendation is that by winner's choice in this case, since there is no map choice, lobby host, so who's ever hosting lobby, and we'll establish that so you guys aren't trying to figure out who's going to invite who. But lobby host will have option at the first map of who's offense, who's defense, and then every following map, the winner of that previous map will have that choice of offense or defense. Well, again, it'll be a little bit different setup in the regular season, but for the Invitational, that's how we'll look at. Pretty much, I think all of the set. Yeah, Coach McGee's going to add that in now, which is good. As far as anything else going into the actual specifics, again, nothing listed too much there on our site. Just the normal tournament play rules. With the no spectating. What was the other tournament setting? So if a competitive play. So if you're in the presets and you're hosting lobbies, just that preset that's already been established for that is what you're going to use. No death cam, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty basic things. If you have any questions on how to set up your lobby, you can feel free to reach out to us, but we'll try to maybe put something into the rules document as far as how the lobby is supposed to look. I know I've got it in my regular season rules, so we can just copy paste it.
Yeah. Let me check one other thing here. So I started. Of course not. Let me see. Does this work? No. I think I have to do it. I started making a calendar so we have all the dates and everything, but I have not. I have not finalized it yet, so I didn't share it out. I was going to right now, but it's still missing some stuff on it. But there are some important dates coming up. So with that, talk about the Fortnite information. We have posted that in the Fortnite chat on our Discord, as well as email being sent out to all the sponsors for all of the teams. And then here are... Nope. I forgot I already copy-pasted and removed what I copy-pasted. And here's a bunch of links for Fortnite coming up. I don't know. I think that's not on here. It'll be the rosters. So there is the first one is the Quarters Cup sign up. So it's a tournament that they're running on this Friday, so the 3rd. If your school wants to participate, that is the first sign up. Then the rules document that comes next there. And this is a much better format on our Discord, so you can see it. And then the last one is the Fortnite registration form. If you want to register for the tournament, that's to be done by the sponsor at the very, those rosters aren't due and the submission isn't due until the end of January, but we wanted to post them in case people wanted to know. But what is really important is that starting on Monday, we're going to be opening up our private server for games. So if you want to play and practice and get a team in, definitely respond in the Fortnite chat and let them know how many people you guys want to bring in. I believe it's going to start at 5 p.m. On Monday and Tuesday. Monday being a JV preseason, so any of your JV squad that wants to practice can get in there on Monday. And then Tuesday is going to be for varsity at 5 o'clock, so they can get in there and practice against some of the other schools so they can see what the competition stacks. We kind of want to do this as a test run to see how this will go for the regular season. So we wanted to make sure that everything's working right. We know how to get in, and then also give players a chance to see what the competition is like. Again, that starts this Monday, the 6th. And I believe that was all in the email that we sent and also in the Fortnite chat as well, on top of the tournament that they're doing on Friday.
Check those emails.
Gotcha. Oh, only Tuesdays for preseason. Okay, I'll make sure I delete those then. So no Mondays, just Tuesdays. And it's gone. And then Overwatch, the sign up for that, you guys will have to register as a school. And this will have to be from... is it Reg? Yes. This will have to be done by your sponsor only. This is the registration for the school. So once you're on this list, that means you're willing to participate in the 1920 school year. It's got some just general information. General information about all 3 tournaments. Let us know what's not working, Keegan, and we'll get it fixed out. But make sure your teams register for the tournament. Let your coaches know. That will ask you if you're participating in League of Legends, how many teams, Overwatch, how many teams, again, Fortnite, how many teams. And then we will send you the PayPal invoice to register your school, which is $50. League this year is going to be free for everyone. So you will not have to pay for any League of Legends teams that enter, as well as the JV squad. So varsity and JV you will not have to pay for. We will be scaling back some of our LAN event LAN stuff for that. Like I think we said last time, we're not providing lunch for that. We'll just give a lunch break and you can head out for lunch those days or order in if that's what you guys want to do. But we also do have a fee for our Overwatch and our Fortnite tournaments. But those are in addition to the $50 registration for the school. So $50 for your school to register to play in any of them, which league you can play for free, and then you just have to pay and enter in the Overwatch and the Fortnite tournaments.
Yeah, and those funds compared to a lot of other tournaments, they're very, very minimal. So taking that into consideration, as well as the amount of stuff that goes into the amount of work that goes into running a lot of these things, and the resources that have to be put forth by a lot of us. So in the big picture, the fees that we're asking for very minimal, and we appreciate all your guys' support. If you have any questions on that, obviously, please feel free to contact us. But it is one of those things that it's the necessary evil of just setting up a statewide tournament to have to do so. We appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's I believe for Fortnite it's $10 for a duo for varsity, and then $5 for JV. And then Overwatch it's $50 a team for varsity and $25 for JV. Same as was last year, but essentially it all ends up working in the end because it ends up being like $5 a player or less. That's kind of what the goal was, to try and keep it really affordable for everyone. Just because we want people to participate, and we know schools aren't paying yet for it, so we don't want to. Well, some schools are not paying for it, but some are, luckily. But we want to make sure every kid that wants to participate can participate in the tournament. So, but make sure your sponsor fills out the registration form. That's got to be the sponsor, not just the students. We want to make sure that they know what this is all about, and if they have any questions for us, they can fill that out. It should work. That one, the registration form.
Yep, that's your general one. The individual specific game ones that'll come out a little bit later from that. Right now we're waiting for the invitational to finish up, and then we'll get those out. But for me personally, I'm speaking, I've written up the Overwatch regular season registration form as well as the roster form. Those are ready to go. So we'll release those in the upcoming days here to get those out to you guys. So you guys kind of get all that stuff out of the way before the regular season gets rolling. But we do have, just like anything else, there's got to be deadlines for that. So real quick, as quick as I can get it, for as far as the Overwatch is concerned, we are looking at, let me bring it up to make sure. Yep. I've got regular season starts February 5th. So I need everybody signed up for the tournament by, I got rosters due by the 2nd, and I believe it's the week before I wanted the sign-ups done, so the 26th, January 26th to get people signed up for it, and then rosters are going to be due the 2nd because we start on the 5th. So keeping that in mind, we're on the other side of January. We're into 2020. It's just around the corner, so we need everybody to make sure that we're following through on those deadlines as far as so we get all the information we need to have a successful tournament and season this year.
So you said rosters are going to be due on the 2nd, the Sunday?
Correct. So, because our first match will take place on the 5th. So as long as you're signed up and your dues are paid and everything's good to go. So January 26th is when my sign-up form, that's when that one's going to be due. I'm giving you guys another week to get the rosters done, because as long as you guys are registered for the tournament, fees are paid, great, that's awesome. I don't need the rosters until a couple of days before the first match, because then I can disseminate that to the teams that are involved. But yeah, for rosters, yes, it'll be the same thing as the Invitational. I'm looking for names and battle tags. As far as what is released to the schools and all the different teams, we're only going to be releasing battle tags. So no personal information is going out for student identification purposes. We're only going to be sharing battle tags so that you guys, when you're setting up your lobbies, you can invite the correct players, which is always important.
Yep. Not Wonder Cookies asked the $50 for Overwatch. That's not for the actual official tournament. So for the Invitational, there's no fee. It's free. It's basically for us to run practice for our services as well as run practice for your team. So for Saturday and Sunday, you're not going to have to worry about any of that. But for the regular season that he was just talking about on the 26th of January, and then the week after that for when the rosters are due, starting February 5th, that will be the $50 for a varsity team, and then your school will also have to register, which will go for all of the games split across them, and that is also $50. So if you're just entering one Overwatch team, it would be $100 total.
Yeah, I was going to say, good to give examples. So, for example, you're only going to play Overwatch, that's it. $50 for the registration, $50 for the Overwatch, $100 total. If you're going to do both, let's say one team for each, varsity, Overwatch, and League of Legends, it's still $100 because it's $50 for your team registration, $50 for the Overwatch, and League of Legends is going to be free this year. If you got the Fortnite teams and you're adding that into the cost, but you start at the base $50, and then depending on how many games, how many teams will dictate that. So again, questions, always ask us. We'd be happy to break that down for you. But you'll get that in an invoice once you fill out the form that what you're interested in signing up for. You'll get that PayPal invoice from us, breaking down the total amount.
Mm-hmm. As for start of the season, we will be starting. Basically, it looks like Fortnite starts. Basically everything starts the week of February 2nd, as of right now. So Fortnite JV starts on Monday the 3rd. Varsity is on the 4th. Overwatch is on the 5th. League might not start that week. I have to do my math to figure out when we're going to start. But we might start the week after that. I still have to figure out exactly where it's going to place in the calendar. That's the last thing I need to add. But the earliest everything starts is on February 2nd, Crone. So you guys have about a month to get everything situated, rosters together for all of that.
Comes up quick.
Yes, it does. So make sure you get your sponsors to register for that. I know you guys might not see them for the students that are in here until Monday. But let them know, get that done as soon as possible. That way we know and we can send out the right information. Make sure all your friends are in the Discord. They're filling out the form correctly so they have access to everything. I know some kids are not filling it out correctly, so it takes a little bit longer. But otherwise, have them fill it out, verify it in the channel. I know we have something like 300 or 400 people that are unverified. And some of them just want to stay in there to get notifications. There are other groups and things like that. But then there are some that are in there that just haven't verified the correct way in the channel. So make sure they get verified so they can be allowed access, and then make sure you add your games in. When you go to the Add Games Here channel, that's where you're going to add your games in. So if you don't see your channel for Fortnite or Overwatch, that would be wise, because you need to make sure you add the game in. That way when we send a notification to all League players, the Overwatch people are not getting it, and vice versa. So.
And as always, I can't say it enough, please reach out to us if you have questions. That's what we're here for. Sometimes I just sit at Discord for hours and just kind of respond to people, and I enjoy helping them out. So by all means, ask away.
Yeah, I mean, there's 5 or 6 of us now, so at least most of us at some point can get on and answer questions. So let us know on there. Definitely try not to send DMs so much, because my DMs get lost very quickly. If you reply in your team channel or in the Help Me channel, that's probably your best place. Your school channel definitely will not get lost. Just at staff or at admin, and we'll be able to help you.
Yep, that's a great place. Team school/team channels.
No, for the NCES school ID, yeah, just your school ID number for that. It's for public schools. It's a way for us to keep track of data, like how many kids are in your school and what's the breakdown for population, and that's all the public information that's in that database. So I've been asked by a couple different groups, be like, hey, can we have, is this really a thing? Who actually plays it? What kind of schools? And we want to be able to actually pull some data out of that, saying, oh, this school with 3,000 kids in it, or this school with 35 kids in it, whatever it might be. There should be a link on there for you to look up your school. But yeah, I want school, not district. So it should be, I think it's like a 6-digit number. And I think that was all the questions we had. I know they were asking about Fortnite earlier.
Yeah. So just to make sure we get that out there again, guys, for both League of Legends and Overwatch for the Invitational, please submit your rosters for Overwatch tonight, being the deadline. I think because Kennedy's been out, so he's given an extra day for that. But for Overwatch, get on the Google form. We posted it a bunch of times. Announcements in your school page. Again, contact us if you have any questions. But get on that roster tonight. I think, like I said, we had 3 schools left. So.
Just 3?
I think just 3. It's Joliet West, Joliet Central, and Nicholas Senn. So anybody out there for those, hopefully you guys are here listening to this, and we can get those rosters from you sometime soon.
Yeah, that will be great. Then you guys will be all set to go. I know League still has a few more. So I think we got like 5 or 6 more. So we're good. In the right direction, at least. It's more than half by now, which is really good for high school esports.
That's right.
So I guess we'll be back. Check in with us on Saturday. Like I said, we'll hopefully try to get everyone online around 9 o'clock. Not like the one year we had at 8 a.m. start. No, 9 o'clock for informational stream questions for both League and Overwatch. At least some way to get out there besides on Discord, because we know everyone's not on Discord, and it will allow you to ask your questions and have them answered by a voice and not just some text. Then hopefully you guys can figure out the stream. I know League will be streaming all day. Not sure how many games are going to be casted. They might just be viewed.
I think that was the thing. Like, if we could just from get into the lobby and sit and say, hey, you guys mind just casting or streaming your game? I don't know how much casting will get done, but we're working on that for Sunday for sure. But it'd be nice to get a couple games up Saturday. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, definitely. And I think League. I think Kennedy might be. Ooh, I just hit my mic. Kennedy might be casting some of them. As well as looking for casters as well. I know a lot of kids are going to be playing in the game, so they won't be able to cast. But then the next day, hopefully, some people will open up to cast. So we're hoping to at least showcase some of them, and then obviously we'll have some of the semifinals and finals matches streamed. And then we promote you guys to stream. I'm going to set up a channel in both Overwatch and League where you guys can link your streams for the Invitational. So if you're streaming your own team, again, it's on your own, but if you do want someone to watch, it'll be put in there, and you can then showcase your team. If there's recruiters out there that want to watch you, you can direct them to there to see it. And I'll make sure recruiters have access to that channel too. Noah's asking if we're going to use Battlefly again this year. As of right now, it's still up in the air, but more than likely we're going with Challenge. I've actually had a couple talks with one of the I think he's the president of Challenge. I was just looking for it. This guy, does he have his title? He's the head of Challenge.
There you go.
And he's actually been very good with feedback. I talked to him for about an hour one day saying all the things that we would need and things like that, and he was very receptive on it. Said, hey, we'll get working on it, and then before break he let me know, hey, everyone's going on vacation. Still things are in the pipe work, so hopefully they'll get done before our season's launch. But more than likely we're going to be using Challenge this year, so we'll have some rough edges to work out. And that's kind of why we're doing these tournaments this weekend, to figure out what we need and what it can do for us. But we think it'll work out much better in the long run. Just because Battlefly hasn't really done anything to update or fix anything or give us any new features, and I've been using it for 5 years now. 5 years now. This is my 5th year using it, and it literally is the same thing. And they've actually taken things away that I've used. So, and I've talked to them about that, and they've kind of brushed me off. And so I was like, okay, well, let's start shopping around. So hopefully Challenge can get some of the stuff done that we wanted. Especially League of Legends, it makes it so much easier when you can do the tournament codes for recording scores and just getting in lobbies and things like that, and not having to know about adding people and screenshotting because it automatically records it. But if it's not able to, we'll figure it out. It'll be a little bit more stressful, and kids will have to make sure that they take screenshots. But League will be on Thursdays this year. So Fortnite Monday, Tuesday, Overwatch Wednesday, and then League on Thursday. So that we don't butt heads with NASF, and B, so that we're not playing on patch day. That was a big request last year, not to play on patch day. So we're not playing on Wednesdays for that reason specifically. When we met over summer, we said we cannot play on patch day because just extra time to patch, and kids just getting home and jumping on and then waiting 45 minutes to patch and whatnot. So Thursdays will be game days for League.
Yep, and same thing. We don't patch days for Overwatch is always Tuesdays, so playing on Wednesdays works out just the same.
Yep. All right. Well, if there's any other questions, guys, hit us up on Discord. Ask me in those channels. We're both going to be around tonight. I'll be at school, unfortunately, tomorrow and Friday, but I know most of our other staff is still enjoying their vacation. So we will help you out when we can, and then good luck to everyone in the tournament on Saturday and Sunday. And everyone, have a great New Year. It is 2020, and make sure it only can go up from here. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.